Hello and welcome to Arcade Couch, best place to your friends get your gaming goodness each and every Monday usually. You all know it's Tuesday. We're moving it Tuesday because Unpacking embargo dropped this morning, so I can talk about that. We'll get to that in a second. Firstly, my name's Tom Blight and joining me today, Ashley Hopley.
Hey Dylan, excited to be here, but I tell you what, I can't believe it's freaking November. Like, how much longer till have we got left to play all our games for end of the year awards?
Oh, 23 actually. It's 23 games.
23 games?
23 games.
23 games we have to play before the new year.
Exactly games. There's a list. Also, here,
check out the list at explosionever.com, written by Dylan Blight.
Also,
yeah, look, 23 games until when's our cutoff for game of the year this year?
It's funny you ask, Ciaran, because I can actually tell you. No, I can't do it. So everyone, the show fucked up before. We're re-recording this. We're doing a bit. It's now a bit inside of a bit. When he originally asked that question, he didn't know the answer to the question. He now does know the answer to the question. Anyway.
Also, went up from 22 games to 23 in the space of about an hour and 20 minutes. So.
That was my in joke. That was my image.
Your in joke for the audio that got ruined.
Your in joke that you swiftly pulled the curtain down from.
It was an in joke for you. It was an in joke for you. So it's fine. Yeah.
God.
So the first 10 minutes.
Get yelled at.
The first 10 minutes of the show got corrupted, so we were re-recording it. That's fine.
Don't worry, it was all incriminating content, so we're all good.
If you can guess where the audio is snippeted together, you know,
I'm gonna see. I bet you there's one thing. So all I basically lost, which is what we're about to re-record, is this intro and then the first half of me talking about unpacking. Now there was an important bit in the unpacking bit, but I don't know if anyone remember. I don't know if it'll naturally come back in the conversation, but it was an important bit. So I don't know if you'll be able to work that back in, but we'll see how we go here. All right. Are you just remembering now?
Yeah, I just remembered.
Yeah. All right, unpacking. I'm not going to beat around the bush this time because it doesn't really work because it was a reveal last time, but now you already know. So my review's not up as we're recording, but I finished it before we started recording this. But unpacking, I'm giving a 10. So you fucking hell.
No fucking way! I can't believe it's not a 9.
10. Wow.
The number.
So it is worthy of winning the AGDAs this year.
Yes,
over another Explosion of Work number 10 out of 10 game, Artful Escape.
Actually, I never realized that until you just pointed it out, but that's a good point, yeah. I am a sucker. I'm just giving 10s to Australian games. It's like some fucking biased over here.
What are you? Bullshit. What are you, Andrew from the Curb, just giving 10s to all these Australian things?
Actually, I literally never realized that the 2 10s I've given this year, and is literally 2 Australian games.
I have balanced this out. with Psychonauts.
San Francisco developed game. San Fran. All right,
or is it?
Is it? What's this?
Is it? Tim Schafer from Australia.
Didn't he visit PAX a couple of years ago?
It's true, he did.
Boy, he did.
Could have built a secret unit here in Australia making Psychonauts 3.
It's true. Unpacking, if you don't remember.
Weird that he wouldn't give him more credit, but you know.
I like it. By the way, just side note, because you fucking I'm like, we'll re-record the first 10 minutes. I probably won't talk for as long as 10 minutes. We'll just like...
No, we're going to make sure this lasts 10 minutes.
I was like, we'll just edit
That's
it
how
back
this
in.
works, right?
No, the thing is, right, we're now at the overtired wacky we've been recording for like 4 or 5 hours energy. That energy's just going to fucking disappear in the next 5-10 minutes.
Lucky, it's supposed to, lucky for you, it's just supposed to be just me talking about unpacking. But yes, unpacking, 10 out of 10, I'm giving it. So, I believe I've still got the important part of this conversation, so I just need to explain what the game is. If you don't recall what it is, and you never played it at PAX, because it's been there when PAX used to be a thing a couple times, and then it's been in those online things and the PAX Onlines and whatever else, and it was recently at the AGDAs and it was demo there or part of the Steam Festival or something. Anyway, the game is a puzzle game. It doesn't have like hard finishes, hard nose, or hard energy. It doesn't have a timer. It doesn't go dun dun, you put the block in the wrong place. But although it does have a feel of like a Tetris to a degree because you sometimes have to move things around as you're trying to fit things on shelves or whatever else. But the core premise, yes.
Go ahead. Sorry.
The core premise for the game is that you are taking things out of boxes and placing them in locations to unpack. Hence the title, Unpacking. So the game there's 8 levels. Took me, I didn't say this last time, so new information. Took me just shy of 6 hours, I think, to beat, maybe like 5.5.
So each level is like a move?
Yes, each level is a move. Location, move.
Yeah.
It's
not like each level is like a room you could have potentially been. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes.
Are you like
each level is a different time jump.
Yeah. Each level,
is it like the same person
it's
the
a new
whole way
house.
through?
Yes.
Oh, it's a new house, right?
You play as the same character in every level. And then each level is their different move. But it's only the rooms in which they would have control. So the first level, they're a kid. Doesn't tell you what age, but they are a kid. And you have access to their bedroom. And then they have I guess because they're rich enough, they've got their own little bathroom. I never had such a luxury as a child, I can tell you that. But they have a bathroom.
That's got to be pretty rare. You know,
yeah. So
is it ensuite or is it like the other bathroom?
No, it's like an ensuite for their bedroom.
Okay.
Yeah, but even then, I was like, fucking fancy.
That's less fancy. Yeah. That means there's at least 3 bathrooms in that house, right?
That's true. I don't know how many. I don't know if I can say. I'm going to explain very little about the story because the story is my favorite part, and you can also tell that I'm using they because I don't even want to. I found I don't know, like it was also part of the discovery to be like who, what, where, when, why, who am I playing as? So don't really want to say anything. But gameplay wise, so you have to pull these things out. The main thing I think I had questions about, even when I played at PAX for the first time and wanted to know, is just like, was it? Because when I played at PAX for the first time, I felt like it was very much like, just put stuff wherever you want. Maybe it wasn't that demo, but the full game, not so much. You can have a little leg room. So if you take a computer out, it has to go on a desk. Where on the desk in that room? Up to you. Which side you put the mouse on? Apparently it's a mouse that can either be left-handed or right-handed. It doesn't really matter. What else you put on the desk that matches that? Up to you. Where does the printer go? Up to you. Toys, soft stuffed toys that go in the bedroom. Do they have to be?
So you can't just dump everything on the floor.
You cannot dump everything on the floor and move on. You can put the soft stuffed toys on the bed. You can put them in the shelf. You can put them on top of a different bench and stuff like that. Now, where fucking hell, what is up there? The video viewers. How was I not supposed to get distracted by that? For video viewers, Ciaran just took his headphones off and put them on his dog.
He's Dalmatian.
He's Dalmatian. No, it was just, I've heard all this before. I thought Harley would want to be a new listener.
So the one we get to Ciaran's favorite part. The one part I've really dragged this into a bit where it's like not even pretending. The one part where it gets sort of confusing, well, not confusing, but like it did stop me at one stage for a hot second, was in one level. So when you pull everything out of a box, everything will be highlighted or start glowing red if it's in. If it's something you actually need to move to complete the level. So sometimes
you can't put like kitchen knives in your bedroom.
Yes, and sometimes they may be. So sometimes you may open a box in a different room and the item will not actually belong in that room, which is realistic because that does happen. When if you ever move house and you're like,
if you do it poorly,
you try to put everything where it is, but sometimes someone's like, oh, I forgot this thing, and you just chuck it in the one box that's open still. That sort of thing. You'll find those random items and you'll open a bedroom item in a kitchen and vice versa. Not many. There's usually only like 1 or 2, which is realistic, I think, in terms of packing. So that does happen. So you'll be like, oh, the kitchen knives are red. Yes, they probably have to go in the kitchen. The toaster I decided to put under my bed probably doesn't go there. I have to put it somewhere else. These sorts of things. Now, the one that stumped me that Ciaran loved last time, that I'm sure he's going to love now, is that I was... as I was scrolling past all the rooms, I was trying to work out. I was like, what is the thing that's going wrong here? And it was the toilet mat, right?
This, right? A mat like this should not be anywhere near a toilet. This goes near your back door, near your front door, somewhere you're going to wipe your muddy feet, not somewhere that you're going to piss on.
That's just a mat. I was going to freak out.
What's the difference between this and a toilet mat?
It's in the toilet.
It's in the toilet. Because you know what?
It's on the floor where the toilet is.
You know what? Fellas, you know about this, fellas. Ladies, if you live with a fella, you also probably know about this. Fellas don't have 100% accuracy. Don't do it. You know, you get up in the morning.
I would say most fellas don't piss backwards or straight down.
No, but when you get up in the morning, it has a mind of its own. You know, you're playing like an anti-aircraft gun and you're re-angling the fucking trajectory. You're trying to work it out.
Anti-aircraft guns are pretty accurate. Like, there's people who specifically claim it.
I just want to say something. I want to say something. For people who are like, oh man, you've already admitted you fucked up recording. Are you just recording the same bit? No, it's pretty much like I purposely moved the bit on last time because Ciaran just couldn't stop yelling about this toilet mat thing. And now he's just happily returned to the conversation and he's continuing it as if he'd already still had the other part. But we don't. He did not have this mat in his hand last time at all.
I did not. I went and got a prop this time to show how absurd a toilet mat is.
I mean, it's, the toilet floors, they get cold in the morning, you know? It's perfectly normal. You need some grip when you're sitting on the toilet.
I feel like Ciaran just looked at you like he wanted to strangle you, to be honest.
I'm pretty sure he didn't hear me. That's what it was.
No, I heard what the fuck you said. I heard.
You know?
Anyway, as was last time we recorded
this. You just wash the mat. It's fine.
This is what happened last time.
Or aim. One or the other.
My problem was that in the game, I placed the mat vertically.
Okay, that makes no sense. Why would you put it vertically?
It had to go horizontal.
Yeah.
So this is my example of, yes, sometimes unpacking goes, no, you have. That was the one time I had something where I had to just move it. Listen,
Dylan, I really hope the team at Unpacking are listening to this.
Which mean?
Conversation.
I hope they are too, because I'm
going to tell you something right now. I fucking hope not. Because not only have we had to re-record this, it's now at, as Ciaran said, we've been recording for several fucking hours. We're re-recording something. I've had to admit we're re-recording something, which I'll admit right now, we've re-recorded stuff in the past, and I've never had to admit it because everyone was pretty good at just fucking playing ball and we did the thing.
Well, I think we were playing ball. You just caved pretty quick.
No. Your tone, you would not pass Cluedo. I would be like, it's him.
Look, all we're saying about this toilet mat juncture before we skip to the past and you hear us being professional is when you open up your toilet school kill card or whatever, your accuracy ain't going to be 100%. That's all I'm saying.
And just like last time, it's fucking... I hope they're not listening because it doesn't matter. If I had the old version of this, 10 minutes, it was half talking about toilet mats. And this re-recorded version, it's still half talking about toilet mats. Anyway.
Wow, we're at 13 minutes.
Yeah, it's gone fucking longer. Anyway, Unpacking is a really good game. It's 10 out of 10. My favorite thing is the characters, which I think is the part I've still got, which I'm hopefully going to cut to in a minute. But just in case, I can't remember because I didn't re-listen to the whole bit because I was just like, I fucked up. We need to record the opening of the show. Characters are really great. Game tells an amazing story. For only having unpack stuff, which is really cool and interesting and unique. No game's ever done that. I think I covered this. Hopefully I do. If not, please go read my review, explosionetwork.com. Back to us from about 2 hours ago. Really got into the character and all that sort of stuff. But the thing that's most... the thing that stands out most about the game is simply just how well it does the character stuff. Through nothing but objects. By pulling stuff out and and you'll start, I think there's something about the way you'll pull the objects out too. And I don't know if it's just random where it's it'll start you in a room and I guess your brain's pulled towards a certain direction with something where it'll be like, oh, you'll see something and you'll start with this box, but you'll often be like, it'll be slow hitters. You're like, yeah, I've seen this, you see this, and then you'll pull something out and it maybe like reveal something about that character, like maybe what's happening in their romance, like their romantic life at the time, or something that's happening with them personally, or suddenly like an interest change, or anything like this. Like suddenly you'll be like, oh, we've got one of these, and you stop. And all the art's really, really good too. So it's got this really good pixel art where you can appreciate stuff like, oh, the flowers are real pretty and stuff. But then there's also, I'll get to the box with all the Blu-rays in it. There's one box of just a fucking massive amount of Blu-rays. And spending all this time, I'm like taking them out, putting them, and then placing them on the counter so I can go, what movie is that? What movie is that? And they're all legit, or they're all like bad. Yeah. So one that first time I pulled out of the box, the first time the Blu-rays put it on a desk straight away. It was a real easy one. I'm like, it's Jaws. All right, cool. And straight away I was like, these are new movies. These are real movies. All right, on to the next one.
On Blu-ray.
Yeah, bought it on fucking Blu-ray.
Could have got shifted.
Fucking hell.
Where's your steel case for this one? God.
Yeah, that's a rip-off. And there's other things too. Obviously, like when you start the game, the kid obviously has like a Game Boy. And then as you progress further, it's like a few years later, there's a DS, or like they don't specifically say Nintendo because I guess copyright, but it's very obvious it's like Game Boy to DS and all this sort of stuff you see going. But
you can see from design and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. But I mean, Unpacking as far as like gameplay, and just design, and like having this fully fledged package that ties the narrative in such a unique way. I've never seen a game like tell a story this way before and do it. Like, I think at the end of my review, I say something like, I've played games with thousands of words of dialogue that haven't managed to tell a story, as concisely or like as interesting as I thought this was, just with possessions, like digging through someone's possessions. So yeah, read the full review, explosionnetwork.com. Another game I reviewed this week was Moonglow Bay. I did not give it a 10, so I won't even do the big reveal. I gave it a 7. I did like it though, although there's like just a few I had a lot of nitpicky, I guess, issues that sort of held it down for me, and then some like technical stuff as well. But overall, I do like the game. So this was, I think, revealed in one of those. I think maybe it was an Xbox thing, maybe late last year or something like that. It's like an RPG fishing game. It takes place in Moonglow Bay. You play you get to sort of pick what character. So here's the interesting thing: you get to name your character, you get to pick the character type you play. You get to pick your pronouns, all this sort of stuff. But you are playing a very specific story. Like the story doesn't change or over. So you're not like it. I named the character Dylan because I was just like, oh, Dylan, I'll go with that, because I thought it was going to be like an RPG. Well, I thought it was an RPG, so I could like it was going to be my story or whatever, but it's not. Like, you're always playing the same sort of story. So, but the story is basically that there's like all these big fish or whatever, monstrous fish that sort of killed off the fishing in this big fishing bay village or whatever. So no one does it anymore. The whole place has gone to shit. And you play as a character who's sort of revitalizing the fishing industry for this place, because the town is just a piece of shit when you walk around at the start of the game. Like, everything's run down, everything needs fixing, whatever else. There's just no people coming there. There's no business coming and everything else like that. So you start simple. You get your boat fixed back up, and then you head out into the waters, and then from there on out, the game is like a mixture of fetch quest stuff, because it's a fishing game where it's like, get this fish and do this, and then whatever else. You got the fishing games are. So this was not one of my complaints, which is that the game starts and introduces the fishing mechanics, which is you throw the rod out, and then you have to move the analog stick in the opposite direction that the fish is pulling. However, once you, like, after an hour or so of playing, a couple hours, you get 3 different rod types, and it's like a strong, basic one. Anyway, one of them is agile rod. It pulls things in faster, but you can get they can get away faster or hit harder. But as long as you know what you're doing, you can literally pull a fish in within under a second, which is good because you're going to be fishing so much in the game that it kind of becomes really monotonous. However, it just means I'm like, what was the point of teaching me all these mechanics? Because I literally never had to do that again for the rest of the game. It was always just like I pulled in a fish within a second. Then you get to the cookie, which is fine. I don't think the fishing minigame needed to be complicated. They should never have been complicated. Where the minigames being complicated made a bit more sense is the cooking, because that's the other aspect of the game. You catch a bunch of fish, you then can cook them, and you can then sell them to make money, which you then use to buy upgrades for your ship or buy other fish to cook with, and then also use the funds to rebuild places around Moonglow Bay to help revitalize the place and bring the industry back alive, and which is sort of the main storyline for the game. The cooking mini games start fun when you haven't done them all, but after it took me nearly 20 hours to beat. I'd say maybe after that halfway mark, maybe 10 hours, I'd seen sort of every mini game. And once you get the harder recipes, it doesn't introduce new mini games. It simply makes the mini games you're already playing slightly harder. It's you got to do an extra button press of this thing or whatever. And they're all very simple. It's just keep the symbol in the right bar, when you're frying something, or press X at the right time when it's going across a thing when you're chopping or whatever. So it just makes these harder instead of introducing new ones. And I feel if there'd been a bit more variety to those, it would have kept them a bit more interesting and more engaged as I kept playing. But it did not. The art's great. It's got the voxel art style, so that's really cool. There's some funny dialogue, I say it's text most of the time, but yeah. But otherwise there's also some technical issues I ran into, frame rate was kind of balked for some reason. I don't know why at times, given the type of game it is and stuff like that. And then also there's just UI stuff that's quite annoying. So there's side missions where a character will be I want this fish, or I want you to cook me this meal, but there's no way to pin that anywhere. So it'll tell you that if you're fishing and you find the fish for a side quest you have, it won't pop up and say, oh, you've got the fish, do you want to take it? And there's no way to activate that side mission, so it'll pop up and visually tell you that or anything. There's a lot of just small things like that overall sort of hold it back, but I still enjoyed it. If I didn't have anything else in life to do, I would happily go back and complete my fishing Pokedex equivalent, I guess, because I nearly had all the fish, I think, and I'd nearly got all the recipes. Or no, I think I only had half the recipes, to be honest, because you got to cook everything a million times to get their advanced versions. But I did enjoy my time. All right, stuff I didn't review. Other people did. So Will James has a review in progress up for Age of Empires 4. Who knows if he's got his full review out by the time this is out? I do not know. But he definitely is enjoying it so far. I know he just hadn't had a chance to check out the multiplayer and fully complete the campaign. I think he had 15 hours or something, he said, when he wrote this up.
Still, cut the guy some slack. He has to review an entire fucking Age of Empires. You know how fucking long an age is? An age is massive.
Thousands of years, I don't know.
It's ages even.
It's fucking... No, it's not ages, because that's multiple ages. It's only one age he's reviewing. Okay. Fucking hell.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's all right. Just cut the guy some slack,
I'll try. He does say some returning players may feel the game does not take enough risk, but the modernization of the former currently feels like it has balanced the fine line between too similar and too different. So yeah, stay tuned for his full review of Age of Empires 4. But yeah, he is enjoying it from what I understand.
Are you looking to try it out?
No, sorry.
In another life, I'd probably when I was much younger, I used to love Age of Empires. I probably just don't have the time or patience to sit through Age of Empires games.
I might
anymore.
play a skirmish or two.
Is it on Game Pass?
Yeah, it's on Game Pass.
Of course it's on Game Pass.
It's on Microsoft.
Microsoft.
It's a Microsoft.
Microsoft. That's the company that Ashley will support is Microsoft.
Not Microsoft.
Fucking, if it's Microsoft, fuck that shit. No way.
Owned by Phil Fates.
I thought he was just thinking about cereal or something, and it was Microsoft. Yeah. It's Frosty Fruit.
How do we get some of that cereal?
We've got to be an influencers or a bigger website.
You got to be. It's classic how much Age of Empires is tied to cereal, considering a good portion of people our age would have, probably played Age of Empires 2 because we got it in a box of cereal.
That's where I played it. That's the only Age of Empires I've ever played. And I played a fucking shit ton as a kid, and it was only because I got it in Kellogg's.
Yeah.
Ash, I know you were back in the day. You were writing on stone tablets, so you are much older.
It was like an age ago. Yeah.
Someone say.
That's a very long time.
It is a long time. And then the other review that went up this week was Buddy Watson wrote a review for Circuit Superstars, which he gave an 8 out of 10. Said Circuit Superstars truly is built by motor racing fans for motor racing fans. It effortlessly blends the appeal, controls, and fun of arcade racing with simulation strategy involving the tire degradation, fuel consumption, and pit stops. The wheel-to-wheel racing and feeling of nailing a perfect corner, lap, or pit stop timing is just as exciting as hitting someone with a green shell or timing the best power slide in Mario Kart. Finally, a game that takes the best of both arcade and sim genres, filling a niche in the racing market. Yeah, he's been streaming this as well. I just can't remember what the fuck is Twitch. Is it just Buddy Watson 12?
I think it's Buddy Watson.
Is it just Buddy Watson? Yeah, fuck it, let's
Oh,
double
no
check.
way. The Buddy Watson going live on twitch.tv/something to
Watson.
do with Radio Watts. Is it Buddy Watson?
I'm
believe it's Buddy Watson.
just double check. It is. It's just twitch.tv/Buddy Watson. He was streaming
Fans.
this and then he
Fake fans.
streamed Moonglow Bay
Didn't
the other
know.
night as well. So
He was.
Go check the VODs.
Check out the VODs. Yeah, so 8 out of 10. He really enjoyed it. Doesn't look like a game I particularly like. I know when I opened up his...
Because it's not all pretty and fancy like Forza.
He started streaming this actually, I think one night he started streaming at like literally midnight my time because we're on these fucking time zone differences now, whatever. And I was getting into
Daylight
bed.
saving sucks.
Yeah. And I was getting into bed. I'm like, oh, I'll pop it in for 10 minutes before I go to sleep or whatever. So I just like opened it or whatever. And all I know is he was yapping on about some real life racer and like all these
So
like real Ferrari F1 shit something. I was like, oh my, this is definitely not a thing for me.
One of the things that Buddy likes the most is that the game has settings that can simulate F1 race circumstances, which includes your tires degrading over the course of the race to include when do you pit stop, when do you go get a new pair, you know, when do you crash in to your rival when you're about to win a world championship to make sure they don't beat you. It's all full of backstage politics and stuff. Like it's it's a whole.
We're going to give your fuel to the other guy. Yeah.
100%. Yes. 1,000%. And then there's this whole mini game where you star in a Netflix series and they like edit it together to make it look like there's rivalries where there's not really any rivalries.
And then there's drinking a shoey mini game in there as well, right?
Damn
These
straight
Drive
there
to
is.
Survive memes. Like,
I think this is just a massive F1 meme.
But just a massive F1 thing. The Netflix bit was Drive to Survive, so good job, Dylan. Good job for picking that out. Let's
I have to hear about it. People tweet about it like it's fucking. It was blew up this year. I feel like everyone was watching it this year.
It's some
First
good
couple
shit.
seasons, no one cared. This season, everyone's like, I'm fucking on. Anyway, that's his review. 8 out of 10. Sounds like a good time. This was that one, by the way. I remember when it was revealed. It was like revealed years ago. It took forever to come out, this fucking game. It was in early access, apparently, but there you go. Check out all of those things. ExplosionNetwork.com. Let's get into the news. Starting with, let's just tie this into unpacking before because it's sort of relates. Kentucky writes Queensland to introduce 15% tax rebate for game developers. The Queensland government has announced it will expand its post-production digital and visual effects, or PDV, offset to include digital games alongside filmmakers working on post-production and post-visual effects within the state. The rebate will come into effect in July 2022. Queensland Premier... How the fuck do you say that name, Ash?
Palaszczuk.
Is it?
It's Anastasia Palaszczuk.
All right, thank you. Said that I asked him everyone because he lives there and I have no clue.
Yep. And I hear it on the news.
You would hear it on news a lot. I do not. Yes. Said that the 15% rebate for video game projects aims to attract more local, interstate, and international games developers and studios to open up shop in Queensland. Quote, my government's post-production digital and visual effects incentive is the most competitive on Australia's eastern seaboard and is already a success drawing screen productions here, which create jobs for hundreds of our state's screen experts. By adding the new games incentive, local and international studios will be further motivated to outsource the creation of valuable game titles to Queensland, and while our locally based developers will be supported to create original games content here. Among the changes is the lowering of a threshold required to access PDV program and the reduction of the cost barrier of production from $500,000 to $250,000 Australian dollars. The thinking behind this change is that it will offer a more level playing field for both smaller developers and larger studios alike to access the offsets. So yeah, this is good news because currently we always talked about usually how there's like Vic or I guess then South Australia. Like I don't know, it seems other states are sort of following around and we're getting better incentives for game studios to open up there, and it's not just going to be everyone wanting to open up places in Victoria, which is also good because that was there were all Sledgehammer games last year and all that other sort of stuff. So and it tied into Unpacking because that is where Witchbeam is in Brisbane. Shout out.
Yeah, a lot of Brisbane studios. Like, isn't the webbed people up here as well?
S-Bug Games? I do not know. Maybe. Do you have any spiders up there?
I'm just going to claim them.
You're just going to claim them? Fair enough. Right, fair enough. All right. Talking about, I don't know, new studios or some shit. Uncharted's Amy Hennig is making a Marvel game, writes Kotaku. Skydance New Media and Amy Hemming, the creative director on the first 3 Uncharted games, announced today that they are working on a new narrative-focused Marvel action-adventure game featuring an original storyline. In a press release posted today, Skydance New Media, Skydance Media, Amy Hennig, and Marvel Games shared a bunch of buzzwords about the newly announced Marvel project. The press release was light on actual details about the game, like when it will be released or what platforms it will launch on, but it did include the word interactive 7 times. This is the first game from Skydance New Media and Hennig. She joined Skydance in 2019 to help create a AAA game studio within the established Skydance film and TV production company. Quote, I can't imagine a better partner than Marvel for our first game. The Marvel Universe epitomizes all of the action, mystery, and thrills of the pulp adventure genre that I adore and lends itself perfectly to an interactive experience. It's an honor to be able to tell an original story with all the humanity, complexity, and humor that makes Marvel characters so enduring, and to enable our players to embody these heroes that they love. According to Skydance New Media, the studio has assembled an accomplished crew of developers with decades of AAA experience in action and adventure gaming. So for all the people who are like, who the fuck is Skydance New Media? Yes, 100% the new game. They're not a games thing. They are a movie company or a movie and TV company. That's where they're from. Mm-hmm. This is them moving into games. This is their first big game thing. I don't know how they've got tied into the Marvel, like how they've managed to scoop up a Marvel deal. Like it's pretty big. Obviously, it may be having Amy helps them secure that as the lead. That gives them a little bit of.
Seems weird when you've got all these movie properties that you've got connections to. You didn't do any of those first, but you know.
I don't know. It's really weird, yeah. Of all the people. But.
Maybe they've just seen everybody else's success as of recent with just grabbing a Marvel property, you know, ignore Marvel's The Avengers. But other than that, What?
I'm just saying that I think that probably is reasonably successful at this point. I don't know any numbers or anything, but I assume at this point it's been profitable.
I know it's been profitable. I reckon them dumping on a Game Pass shows signs that they need a injection of players.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
You know, anytime you dump something on Game Pass.
I mean, after it's come out like that, it's not like it's a Microsoft day one thing, which just makes sense. But anyway, how do we feel about, is anyone excited by this? What are we thinking?
Well, I've got a Marvel game to talk about later in the episode, so I'm very keen for more. You know,
you play any Marvel game.
It's true.
I'm on the same boat as Ashley. That yes.
But yeah, hopefully, you know, Amy actually gets to finish game. That's all. You know, it's been so long. It's been since Uncharted 3 that she's gotten a chance to release a game. So hopefully everything works out for her.
She hasn't made a game in so long.
Well, yeah, because the last major game, one of the last major projects she was going got banished to fucking never be spoken about again, even though people were actually looking forward to it. So
yeah,
it is.
Now that she's president of this game studio, I don't think she's going to be fucked with in the same way that she was over with the EA. So.
Yeah, I'm going to say I'm optimistic about it because of Amy, but I'm also going to say that just having the creative as the set, like the thumbs up part, doesn't necessarily mean the game magically comes together under a brand new studio when I don't know who else is really running the show there. And it only takes a couple of, I guess, producers who don't know what the fuck they're talking about, and trying to push the project in a certain direction to mess everything up. So I'm going to say, yes, I'm optimistic, but
I think, Marvel has done a pretty solid job so far with their games, since the Disney takeover, of choosing where and when to give people.
Yeah. It's just it's just weird because it's a new place. That's why I'm like, it's really weird, really.
Who knows at this point? So many new studios are getting profiles, or under smaller studios getting properties that we don't know anything about their games and how they got. I'm sure we're talking about one later in the show. So, but yeah, I mean, you come in with a good pitch, you got a good creative team behind you, then you've got a shot at getting some of these properties.
We shall say yes.
But who do you think it is?
The game.
Yeah.
Who would fit Amy Hennig's style the best? I don't really know, to be honest. Who's the most pulp action star in Marvel?
My first thought was Captain America.
Fuck, I hope not.
No, it's
A full shield,
no.
I think she would do.
Thing.
I think she would do.
You could do the flashbacks.
I don't want anyone that's already.
They
in
love
a
to
game.
do in this.
He's already already in Avengers. I don't want.
I think she would do a.
So
great
you want
Iron
Avengers
Man
off the
project.
table?
I want a new character. I don't want anyone that
A new character, something completely.
someone that's not adapted yet. Recently,
By adapted, I would love for her to do a Wolverine property.
not happening.
They're
already doing the Wolverine game. They're not doing 2 Wolverine games.
Oh my god, yes they are.
You
Okay.
completely forgot.
Forgot about that teaser that was recently. Okay, no, the Wolverine can't be.
Wolverine is off the table.
I mean, Daredevil would be cool.
I would go.
Find a way to do that.
I would like Daredevil. I'd be down for Daredevil.
Doctor Strange could be interesting.
Yeah.
Just in terms of Doctor Strange, or even going off the sex of Ant-Man in the movies with Paul Rudd and everything. You could do an Ant-Man property, I think, fairly easily and straightforwardly nowadays, and there's enough to do with it. And you've got the whole shrinking mechanic for some amazing set pieces and everything. Would be potentially fun.
It's pretty clear. It's got to be Namor, the Submariner.
Fantastic
It's
Four.
got to just be in the tights. Yeah.
Fantastic Four.
Also a good choice. Also a possibility.
Still sticking with my Namor. Lots of water levels.
I mean, they would like a Fantastic Four game to come out in a couple of years when the movie's coming out.
To coincide, yeah.
Coincide, even though it's not time, but still coincide.
Even just to bring back the hype or bring something positive about Fantastic Four prior to MCU's Fantastic Four being released.
Yeah. So
that the last thing you think of isn't either, Rise of the Silver Surfer or the Michael B. Jordan and Miles Teller Fantastic Four.
I'm going to say we do not find out for at least a year. Or at the earliest,
yeah,
E3 next year. At the
Jeff Keighley will announce it at some point.
Yeah. More likely, yeah. Game Awards next year would be a good spot.
Yeah.
All right, Halo did a thing this week. I didn't watch it, but
I didn't watch it.
Shout outs, Will James covered it for the website and wrote up News Space. Thank you. The Halo, what do you write here? In the trailer, they show, so it's a new Halo Infinite, first footage, biggest campaign ever in over a year. Within the trailer, they showed off a new era of Halo, boasting an improved visuals from extra layer development. It's looking like it'll be a good bit of fun, showing off various bits of gameplay. Get a good look at a grappling hook, Master Chief flying through there, using a jetpack, whole bunch of stuff. Story details were a little vague, but humanity seems to be in a disastrous situation with Chief starting out on a mission to obtain a new weapon. Ciaran, I'm going to presume you watched this. If you didn't, I'll be like, what the fuck are you doing? Yeah, what do you make of the Halo stuff?
I think this is a lot more exciting than the previous gameplay they've shown. I think this shows a more focused, a more refined gameplay experience. Look, I'm super excited. I was excited the first time they showed it. I think this is even better. This has more of a cinematic feel to it. This has more of an overall good focus back on Master Chief and back on his own missions. So no, I think this is very positive and very good for those that probably are still a bit wary about Halo Infinite going forward. I think this should show definitely some more signs of positivity about what the main campaign's going to be like and how they run that in the future. And also the fact that it's probably not going to get delayed.
No. And this is like full open world, basically, now, isn't it? Or something?
Yes, it's supposed to. Well, I don't know if it's supposed to be open world or just like greater open areas where it's just like lots more different maps for you to explore. And because Halo's always had that sense of open areas and open levels that you can drive around, but really it's fairly linear and it directs you where you need to go all the time.
Tunnel seat.
So yeah, no, I think this is going to feel a lot more freer and open to do things. There is definitely like a world map, and there'll be little objectives for you to go do. I think they are definitely trying to bring Halo into the modern era of gaming. Whether that works totally or not, probably the jury's still out on that one. But it's good and it's positive to see studios try to innovate and push their franchises further rather than trying to stay behind with the older kind of style of gameplay from Halo's past.
Yeah. Oh, my favorite part for video viewers who are just watching, not audio listeners, is when Master Chief calls down the Wasp, and the ship comes to drop off his little ship or whatever, and it just completely just dumps on the ground. It just goes crash bang. Like it's not a soft landing at all. They just like drop off this ship frame. It just fucking lands like a clunk of spuds. I don't know. It's ridiculous. And then of course the only other thing I've seen is lots and lots of memes about Craig being upgraded. So.
Gave him a beard.
Yeah,
fixed everything.
Fixed everything. They're like, we heard all your complaints. Gave him a beard.
We heard you don't like his face, so what we're going to do is we're going to cover it up.
Yeah.
Best way to fix
Problem solved.
Problem solved. Good job.
Thank God we got this new creative director in to fix the problem.
Fuck, I almost forgot that was the thing, eh? Tomb Raider also announced some stuff this week. So Kotaku, Tomb Raider's 25th anniversary brings sales and details on new anime. I know we talked about this earlier in the year where they were like, they announced fuck all, but anyway, they now pop back up and they're like, here's some stuff or whatever.
Yeah, buy the games.
Yeah, it's mostly the anime they're pushing at this stage. 25th anniversary of Tomb Raiders right now. It's the 29th of October. You're in it, and IDS Montreal has saved up a handful of announcements to celebrate. Powerhouse Animation, the studio behind recent Castlevania anime series, is working on Tomb Raider animated released on Netflix. The studio also worked on He-Man, Masters Universe, and Blood of Zeus. Tomb Raider anime will pick up on the franchise's Survivor trilogy in the games from 2013 to 2018, continuing the story of Lara Croft into an adult. So we talked about this before, but Hayley Atwell will be portraying Lara. But I find it interesting they're committing to being like, it's part of the same universe as those games and a continuation. Because then I'm like, are they going to like then use the anime to push the character to be older, and then are they going to pick up the games with an older Lara? Is like that the whole idea? But then did they get the other actress back, or is Hayley Atwell now the voice actor for Lara? Like it's just like it feels weird to commit to tying it in. Like why not just make it its own thing? Unless like I don't know. How do we feel about the tie-in? Like is that weird or? Listen,
they need to open this anime with her getting hit in the throat, and then go from there.
Voice change. All right, good, got it.
Yeah. No. I am going to be disappointed if we can't get a drinking game out of this Netflix show where you take a shot every time some brutal injury or accident happens to Lara and she somehow survives. And if we're not fucking plastered by the end of episode 1 or the start of this show, my God, am I going to be disappointed.
Episode 1, she's just in a library doing research.
I would be so mad.
Bone dry sober.
I guess it's good if they're not prepared yet to try something new with Tomb Raider. I think if they were to set this completely separately or to do something, that would maybe be a signpost of them intending to do something new and could cause a lot of kind of community discussion around it, maybe that they're not ready to handle. So possibly having it connected very heavily to what they've already done kind of shows that they're not in a position yet to move forward with Tomb Raider, but they still want to keep giving great stories and great content out of that franchise.
Just like, yeah, such a weird thing. Other stuff they announced was you can get a bunch of games on sale currently up to from November 1st to November 14th. Basically everything Tomb Raider will be on sale on every platform from what I understand. They did
apparently, Dylan, if you're a member of Twitch Prime, Amazon Prime, you can grab a copy of Rise of Tomb Raider for free on PC from November 1st to November 14th. If you've got a Twitch Prime subscription, no, if you've got an Amazon Prime subscription, you got a free Twitch subscription, which you can use at twitch.tv/Explosion Network.
Yes, if you're not going to use it on channels that actually give you content, put it there.
Twitch.tv/Buddy wants to use your free Twitch.
That's got to be the tagline. We've got to make that bad.
Me, Ciaran, will still have to fucking finish those Halo games. I don't know if I'll have time.
I was thinking during the story, I'm like, how does that schedule work out now?
There's no rush. There's no co-op on Infinite yet, so. And from that trailer, it's like, how is it supposed to have co-op?
But also at the same, you could say that about any of the Halo games, realistically. You're all Master Chief. It's not.
We are all Master Chief.
I mean, it's Master Chief and Buddy and, your pal, who never gets any credit. Help save the world multiple times. Nobody talks about him.
Understandable. They also announced Lara Croft and Guardian Light and Lara Croft the Templar Osiris will be heading to Switch. And what's up the big thing? Nothing.
Lots of charity
stuff, but I think that was about as far as the stuff goes. Good job on charity stuff. All right, leak. Batman, Steven Universe come together in Smash Bros. Style fighting game, writes Kotaku. Following recent reports that Warner Bros. Was working on a platform fighting game similar to Super Smash Bros. Called Multiverses, a possible roster for the project featuring characters from Batman, Steven Universe, Adventure Time, and more appears to have leaked online.
Hey, hang on. The title is Multiverses.
Yeah. It's part of.
So it's versus.
Yeah.
The word versus.
Yeah.
But then they've put multi on front of it. So it sounds like multiverses.
Yeah, multiverses someone.
Versus. But it's multiverses.
Yeah. Multiverses.
Like genius.
If I hear the word multi and versus again, I might scream.
Y'all thought I was lying? Professional Smash Bros. Player one Hungry Box Debedema wrote on Twitter that character select screen there seems to be levels and fighter type icons. The tweet was accompanied by an apparent screenshot of the unannounced games roster, including WB owned characters ranging from Superman to Gandalf. So in his tweet he lists Steven Universe, Adventure Time, Batman, Harley Quinn, Superman, Wonder Woman, Gandalf, Rick and Morty, Tom and Jerry, Bugs Bunny. New character top left. I don't know who the fuck. Anyway, the picture was deleted. Well, actually, it was taken down by Warner Brothers. Yeah. It's a hard, Adding credibility to the leak was the fact that the video made about the roster was quickly taken off YouTube by Warner Brothers over copyright infringement. And in the quote tweet from him following up, he said, "And that, my friends, is what we call a hard confirm." News of the possible Warner Brothers fighting game first leaked on Reddit late last week. GamesBeat reporter Jeff Grubb corroborated that the game was real over the weekend and in a recent episode of his Grub Snacks Giant Bomb show, that it could be free to play. It's still not clear when the game might be released or even officially announced. This is a real thing because Warner Brothers is not really making it. They're not really trying to dodge it. If they're pulling down leaked videos, you're kind of showing your hand at that point. So the free to play part would certainly be interesting, but otherwise, I think it's just quite funny that as Smash Bros is like winding down, we just had that Nickelodeon one come out, and now this one's is going to be coming out relatively soon by the sounds of it. So, who would have interest in playing as any of these characters in a Smash Bros like game?
Maybe.
Sure, let's do it. We've had Nickelodeon All Stars Brawl. Let's fucking go. Just if you've got a franchise or a universe or a collection of characters, let's put them in a Smash-like game and see what hits. It's gone from battle royales to Smash games at the moment.
It's funny. It's like they would have had, but this would have been in development for like a little while.
Yeah.
So it's like it's just timed up weirdly.
It's like, you see a lot of these tech companies that come out with all the same game at once, like all the same genre game at once. It's all like, well, all those have just been in some form of development for the last couple of years. So obviously there's just that flash in the pan that everybody latches onto and people talk about throughout the industry and people jump onto it. And it's just around about that time we're getting the Smash games coming out. Especially, it lines up with what appears to be the current end of Smash Ultimate's life cycle, with it no longer releasing extra content or extra characters for it. they may be thinking, hey, we could capitalize and release some more games and see if we can maybe move in on some of this territory and get some of this player base for ourselves.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they could succeed. I guess maybe someone of the Nintendo has to eventually succeed with something, right?
Listen, I mean, they've got a built-in storyline already set up. You just follow on from the events of Space Jam and New Legacy. You know, Algae Rhythm still work inside the Warner 3000 project. You know, he's got control over all these IPs and things. He's pissed off that he lost a basketball game to LeBron James. He's going to make everybody fight to death.
You spoiled the movie. I didn't expect that what's going to happen in the movie. You spoiled it. I really thought he was going to lose. How dare you?
I apologize. Can we put a spoiler warning at the start of the
episode? Fuck no. Yeah, so this will probably... I don't know how they'll announce this. I don't know if this is like a wake up one morning. It's like, oh, Warner Brothers overnight announced this. Or
wow, they just had Shaggy kill Harry Potter. It's really weird.
But yeah, it's like... Because originally I was like... Because these leaks started and then the State of Play was happening. And I was like, oh, maybe like it could be announced as State of Play. Maybe that's a thing. But no.
It's going to be a Game Awards thing.
You reckon?
You know, they don't have a Smash character to show.
That's true, actually.
Tease. You know, so what's the next best thing?
That's true, but Game Awards is still like what? We're
six weeks
away. Yeah. So yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, and then if it's free to play, you know, you just add downloadable characters on the regular.
That's true.
You know, go Fortnite, like have a theme each season, like add a whole new franchise.
Why not?
Like this season, you can get all these Game of Thrones characters.
Why not?
You can play as.
Yep. You're struggling. Yep.
What's the Unix?
I can't remember. It's been a while.
Okay.
I've wiped the show from my memory. You know. All right. Quiet Place thing. So, shout out to Will James again. He wrote this one up for ExplosionNetwork.com. 2018 sci-fi horror film director, written and starring John Krasinski, has announced a spin-off video game overnight. A tweet from the new Twitter account at A Quiet Place Game has announced the game and indicated that the game would be an untold story of survival in the Quiet Place universe, as every piece of media of more than a couple of related items is now a universe. Herv Silva, I'm probably butchering that name, creative director at literally the worst studio name I've ever heard of. Illogica, but it's like lowercase I, and then the rest is capitals, and it's a K in there. Anyway, said, quote, A Quiet Place video game will let fans experience the tension of the films with a level of immersion they've never felt before, as well as being excited to share a unique vision of hope and terror for the game. So Logical's publishing it. They've previously worked on action puzzle roguelike Suburia, and both having assisted Studio MDHR on Cuphead, among other things. Epitome is publishing, Saber Interactive as well. It's a smorgasbord. It's fucking confusing.
I mean, you say that's the worst name you've seen, but then you see Epitome.
Yeah. Capital EP1, capital TOME.
No, it's a 0.
Is it? Oh, fuck's sake. Yeah. What do you reckon? Quiet Place video game? Does it seem like a good idea for a video game? Coming 2022, next year.
Is it going to have like a sound meter as part of the...
Has to be. It's going to be like it's going to be like the worst thing ever, where you have to walk really slow.
Everybody's going to be crawling.
You're going to have to constantly hold a button.
It's going to be Death Stranding.
Yeah, probably.
I just think it's an interesting property to work with for the audio design team, because I think it is the quietness. It's almost the use of quiet that made the original, like the first part, so amazing in my view.
You're going to put your headphones in and be like, are these plugged in? I can't hear anything. Or like, are they working? Are they broken? Or?
Yeah. that is also... That's the thing. It would be amazing for it to be like this, an experience that if you experience it with headphones, it's fucking amazing, but at the same time, there's like barely any sound for most of it. And it's like, well, that'd be cool. I just hope they don't quote unquote gamify it too much. I think it's one of the problems I have with the very minor problem I have with what we'll talk about a bit later in the show, is just making it feel like there needs to be two gamified moments. And we discussed it, Dylan and me discussed it when we talked about The Last of Us Part 1. how there seem to be things thrown into it to make it feel more like a game. So I hope they don't feel the need to do that, and I hope that they find the right kind of mixture of horror, of tenseness, of character development through this game.
Yeah, I'll have to wait and see on this one. I'm not against it being a good game. I just like it's not like new. Basically, it might as well be a new studio. No one there's not much to show there to get me super excited. And like announcing it and being like it's coming out next year. It seems like I don't know. Seems like they would have started production after Quiet Place Part 2 released, and they were like, "Oh, people still like this franchise, so let's make a game as well." So it seems like a very quick turnaround for the game potentially. So I'll have to wait and see. But I mean, I do like the movies, so and I guess the sound design is definitely going to have to be the highlight, and if done correctly, that could be really cool. You can build a whole game basically around sound and haptic feedback on the DualSense or something, like more like focus on those elements or something, but we shall see. Push Square writes, Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre working on a great fucking music for GTA game. Where there's smoke, there's fire, and something certainly afoot for the GTA franchise. Earlier this year, we reported on a voice actor who's supposedly playing Police Chief Captain McClane in the new Grand Theft Auto series. And now Snoop Dogg has hinted that Dr. Dre is in his studio working on great fucking music for the GTA game that's coming out. That was a quote, by the way. The longtime collaborator and Corona commercial star said of Dr. Dre, quote, "I do know he's in the studio. I do know he's making great fucking music. And some of his music is connected to the GTA game that's coming out. So I think that there will be a way that his music will be released through the GTA video game." Of course, as was the case with the voice actor, it's unclear what project Snoop Dogg is referring to here. Could it be new music in an upcoming GTA trilogy, the Definitive Edition? Or could the songs be part of an upcoming GTA Online update? Dr. Dre and his management team did make a cameo in the Cayo Perico heist after all. Everyone is naturally waiting for GTA 6, but it doesn't sound like it's releasing anytime soon. There are rumors that Rockstar is plotting an evolving map for the next entry in the iconic open world series, but with GTA 5's PS5 remastered due out until March 2022, we don't get the impression it's imminent. Rockstar, as you'd imagine, has declined to comment on Snoop Dogg's statements. So what do you reckon? Snoop Dogg, we're not going to say Snoop Dogg's a liar. Let's believe the first part. Dr. Dre is making new music. So this is important. I think it's like important to hone in on the new music part. Dre doesn't really make music these days. I know he produces a lot, but are they saying like if Dre is making an actual song, like are we saying Dr. Dre is making a Dr. Dre song? If so, he doesn't make songs anymore. He basically retired. He's just a producer. Or are they saying he's in producing music? I don't know. I want to read between lines. Either way, making new music would be interesting because usually GTA pulls popular songs for the specific time period that it's trying to be set in and like fill the radio songs with those. So if they're making new music, it makes me wonder if it's for a GTA set in the future or something, or like I don't really know.
Or do you?
Wouldn't that be the present or the recent past?
I don't know.
Why the future?
Alternative reality?
But what, could they also be making?
They're predicting he comes out of retirement?
Maybe they're making the future happen by making him come out of retirement.
I mean, maybe. Then they're part of history. Because then 10 years from now, people don't know that it was music made for the game. They're just like, he always made the music. It was always part of the game. What came first, the chicken or the egg? What came first, GTA 6 or Dre's album? Whoa! The Chronic 3! Whoa! Yeah, what do you reckon? Is this GTA 6 or is this for something else? Put your vote in.
I think this is just new music for the
No.
trilogy.
No.
Because I don't think they can get new licensing.
For finally laying down a PH fat beat for the game that everybody's been holding their horses for. We all thought it was fucking dead.
You gonna say table tennis?
No, Agent is coming.
But they specifically said GTA, right?
Yeah, but this is just their fucking...
It's also Snoop Dogg.
Like, look, okay.
All he heard was them. They're the behind the studio that made GTA.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. This was very high at the point.
It was 7 a.m. on a Wednesday. It's fine. You can. Do you ever see that one Twitch stream where he rage quit a game and he forgot to end his stream and it was just on for another 12 hours or whatever, and then a lady walked past and was like, oh shit, and then shut it off. Good old Snoop. Good old buddy Snoop. And right, this is just an interesting little tidbit. PlayStation Lifestyle writes, PAX South cancelled indefinitely as it fails to expand, compounded by effects of COVID-19. Normally taking place in San Antonio, Texas each year after launching in 2015, PAX South has been cancelled indefinitely, brought to an end by the PAX team after it fails to expand and see the same growth that other PAX events have. Based on that and compounded by the impact of COVID-19, they made the decision to end PAX South for the time being. So the full statement said, faced with the reality and compounded by the impact of COVID-19, we have made the difficult decision to bring PAX South to an end for the foreseeable future. The heart of PAX South lives in the incredible memories we made in our Texas community and with the international fans and enforcers who came out to support the show. We're sorry to all our friends who were looking forward to the show's return in 2022. We join them in that, but we hope to see you again at our other events as PAX return. You'll be forever a part of our family and legacy of PAX. We learned a great deal from you, and future shows will be better for it. Thank you, San Antonio, for always embodying the PAX spirit by welcoming home gamers and people who make things we love. So if you read between the lines, you read people's responses, blah, 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 blah. People are pointing out that some people are blaming PAX and being like, they never secured big AAA games or third-party publishers or whatever to come out. The show was always just indie devs, never had any big people there. So they were like, yeah, COVID of course didn't help, but they were complaining about the show not expanding, bringing in bigger numbers, and all that sort of stuff. And they were blaming on that. And then I saw Alex Walker, quite formerly of Kotaku. I can't remember where the fuck he's working now. But shout outs, good job getting a new job. He quite retweeted it and said, I wouldn't be surprised if a similar conversation has been happening for PAX Australia, which I thought was surprising because I'm like, that shit sells out fast as fuck, right?
Yeah. So,
yeah, do we feel that, do you feel like anything like this could ever happen to Australia, or is the PAX Australia safe in all your
I think PAX Australia is pretty safe. I think the fact that it keeps growing every single year that it's been on is promising, and I think, obviously, I feel like, obviously, to get international audience, I think is obviously, it helps that obviously it's the one big games event in Australia, so it's got kind of a guaranteed cash cow.
Also, at the same
whereas,
time, do you think there's any motivation by the fact that PAX South is in Texas and PAX as a company is very progressive and wants to move forward with kind of acceptance of people around it, and maybe that's part of it, where it wants to move forward and it doesn't believe Texas is a place where that can be really done or captured?
I have no idea.
It's tough to say. Especially we consider two of the most progressive parts of Texas, like San Antonio and Austin, I believe. So,
yeah, that's fair.
Both of which would have been pretty solid places to hold.
I mean, that's where Rooster Teeth is.
Yeah.
Texas, right?
It's Austin, yeah. Austin. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I just thought it was interesting that they would pull the plug and blame, not just go, look, COVID fucked us, but be like, the show wasn't growing, plus COVID took part. But it seems like a weird, just unfortunate. Imagine if that was us. I guess it would be worse because at least there's other PAXs you could fly to in America. But imagine if they cancelled PAX now after missing out 2 years, and they're like,
it's easy to say that, but a flight to a certain part of America is still going to be a 8, 9, 10 hour trip.
You don't need a new you don't need an international boarding pass though.
That's fair.
I'm not saying it's going to cost you $10 or whatever, but at least it's in the realm of possibilities. It's a thing that you don't have to. It might cost people more or whatever, but you can still do it. Whereas, imagine if they just cancelled PAX Australia after not doing one for 2 years and be like, yeah, look, the numbers haven't grown. I'd be like, hasn't been on. It literally has not been one on. You've missed 2 years.
No, I think the fact that people broke the website 3 times in a row.
Yeah.
I think they know that they're pretty safe.
And look,
that so many people bought tickets in the middle of the COVID.
Yeah, I'm going to hope so. Ridiculous.
Although I think obviously them having to refund all the tickets and everything, that's like I would just expect a significant hit, and it wouldn't surprise me if they.
But you know what? They
scaled down
probably went into it expecting to refund those tickets. There's no way they put on.
They went into it
went
hoping not
it.
to refund those tickets.
They went into hoping not to, but they had to be realistic and be like, we're probably going to refund this. We're going to try anyway. At least they have the metrics, right? They know when they can do PAX next year, they at least can have, like, they're going to sell their tickets. They know they're going to have show growth. And that was, that was selling up the tickets with reduced ticket numbers. Maybe next year, once Australia's vaccination rate's up, once we are in a much better spot as a community, as a country, those ticket numbers can be much greater. They can make a lot more money out of it.
I know we're not into next year now, but since it's just the topic is now up, what is everyone's feelings? PAX October next year. Like, where are you at? Like, let's give it a percentage of like what you think is going to be the.
I think it's 70% chance of happening. I think Australia is so heavily pushing vaccination rates right now. Which we weren't doing at the start of the year. Australia is fucking way behind when it came to vaccination. We're finally coming together and picking it up. I know a lot of the states at least are 70% first dose. That means probably by the start of 2022, we should be moving towards 80-90% on the second dose. I think we're going to be in a better place.
If you had one dose, why wouldn't you have a second dose,
Exactly. So by that time of those vaccination rates, I think we're very likely. Look, something could still happen. We didn't expect the Delta strain to happen this year in the way it did, and it's kind of further fucked it. We didn't expect people to be absolutely stupid and not want to get the vaccine.
What fucked us is less the Delta strain and more just people's stupidity. Yeah.
Like nothing has made me more mad in the last 2 years than seeing people protesting at a war memorial about vaccinations. Like that really got to me personally. So I think we are now at a point, hopefully, where we are moving past that. People have still got their problems with vaccination, and those people, it's getting to the point where Australia needs to be a thing where the PAX needs to come out and say, yes, we're doing PAX next year, but you don't come to PAX unless you're fully vaccinated and you have your certificate and everything shown and proved to us.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm going 100% it's happening. They require
guidelines.
You have to be double vaxxed. Maybe we still have some mask regulations for some areas. I don't know.
I would think mask on the show floor.
I'm gonna say,
maybe by then all the people who are anti-vax are dead by then.
Yeah, we can only hope. I'm gonna say I don't feel like it's a hot take. I'm going 100% it's happening, just with some form of like thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's definitely happening next year.
Well,
listen. I can't wait to stand on the show floor and hear Country Road Take Me Home.
It's not going to happen. Fucking Michael, I meant to tweet him back and I forgot and I just remembered.
That's a very you thing.
Fucking Michael retweeted me that shit in a video this week and I was like, stop it. I don't want to remember. It's not okay. Don't do that to anybody ever again, Bethesda/PAX.
I also feel like, so not only do I think PAX has to come out with a banger of a show, like with like guests and who's there and, like whatever else, I think they need to come back and make sure it's a really strong show. If it's like a full show, like full attendance or whatever for if you're double vaxxed and all this sort of shit. But then also, it'll be on everyone to turn up to be like.
So what you're saying is they need to book us.
But mate, it's your fucking main event, mate. Bloody center stage.
Keynote speech.
You can come to my Audio Technica show. We'll sponsor you.
Yeah, mate. You've got, we've just got.
Oh, I'm not going to commit to that.
Just go outside, PAX. Just not go outside physically, but go outside of your booth. Get some wrestlers in. Get that all elite wrestling in. Get everybody to come.
Yeah, get AEW games in. That's what you're saying. Yeah.
100%. Yes.
If they debut
Brandon Cutler is the one guest.
Game.
Brandon Cutler turns up. Oh man. Brandon Cutler and Michael Nakazawa.
I mean, I'd go. Yeah. Yeah, I'm saying 100%. You're saying 70. I was just saying 100. So, see it happen. I was going to say, because also, I mean, like, even here, like, in the scheme of, like, how far is Australia moving forward? So, because you probably don't read as much, well, see the Tassie news. So, Tassie is now at I think it's December 14th or something like that. They're like, borders are opening. They're never shutting again. And pretty much the Premier's been like, get vaxxed by then. I've given you a date. If you're not double vaxxed by then, and he's pretty much gone, we're going to get COVID. It's 100% going to happen because
I think that is the message across the board everywhere.
That is just we're at the point where it's like COVID's going to happen. Just be vaxxed, so when it does happen, it doesn't fuck us.
Yeah,
you know, so we don't have to look at one state and say, why you got to fuck me like this?
It's beyond me.
It is beyond me.
Thanks a lot.
It'll be good because if the same rules are in place, I think it's if I leave the state and it's for less than a week, I don't require a test to come back. Whereas if it's longer than a week, I have to get a test to come back in. So yeah, I can get a PAX next year. Don't have to get a test. Don't have to stick shit up my nose. I can just come. Very good. Very good. Got my little thing on my phone now. You know, you put it in my wallet, my pass. You know,
you don't have to stick a test up your nose. Is what you're saying. Yeah. Leave your options open.
I want to leave my options of what I'm sticking up my nose. You know, yeah.
Don't want to rule out nose stuff completely.
PAX is going off. 2022. Let's get into what we've been playing. What we've been playing is only the thing used to have been like every 5 to 10 minutes. Be like, well, I think we'll talk about later in the show. Guardians of the Galaxy, Marvels probably. Is it called Marvels Guardians of the Galaxy? I presume
Marvels Guardians. Yeah,
it is. It is.
Who do you reckon's the furthest? Who wants to talk about it first? I don't fucking know. I haven't played it.
I'm up to chapter 11, so
you're further than me. Then I'm chapter 8 or 9.
All right, Ash, how are you liking it?
I'm really enjoying it. I think it's a great story. It's very much a story-driven game, narrative, linear, single-player game, which everybody apparently has mentioned in the reviews and is like, yeah, we know single-player games will still be coming out for a while. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying, like I said, the story, but also the team dynamic and like the banter between all the crew and everything. Obviously, you play as Star-Lord, jumping through it's very much different to the MCU version. You slowly given the backstory of this team of Guardians of the Galaxy, pretty much set after a giant galactic war between the rebellion and pretty much everyone versus the Chitauri and Thanos. So it's like 13 years after that war. These band of rebels have come together and like. Obviously, we start the game like going into this quarantine zone to try and capture a monster to sell to Lady Hellbender, who is a poacher, I guess would be the best way to. She collects exotic animals.
She's not a poacher though, necessarily, because she likes the animals that she collects and stuff, and she makes like a safe haven for them. Just a collector, but not the collector.
Yeah, she's not. She's a collector, but not the collector. Yeah. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I really like Star-Lord. I think he's different to Chris Pratt. He might be more likable, especially right at the moment, with people's feelings on Chris Pratt. It kind of shits all over the Telltale game. It like hits some similar story points. Especially, we've got this thing where you flash back to Peter with his mum, his early days. It's like, which was the thing they did several times in that Telltale series, and this just hits differently and better and that kind of stuff. I'm really enjoying it. I don't want to get too much into spoilers or talk about special cameos and that kind of stuff. What about you, Ciaran? I think the only thing holding it back is like some of the combat is a little bit repetitive.
I feel like I love this game to the point where when it gets to anything that is combat, I am just looking forward for it to no longer be combat.
I mean, the combat's fine. But
it's fine, but you've picked
not the strongest point.
you've picked a character, your main character and the character you control primarily uses guns. So primarily your combat is just holding down the right trigger with it kind of auto aiming.
I do a fair bit of melee as well.
With a fair bit of melee, but with like, every now and then you're chucking in somebody else's moves or doing combos and stuff by yelling out and stuff. The only part of combat that I really love is the huddled up mechanic, which is, you charge up a meter, you hit your L1, your R1, or your right bumper, your left bumper. Everybody comes in for a talk, pretty much. It gives you a cutscene where they say things. You have to make sure you say the right thing to them, and then everybody gets like a buff. But then also after giving the buff, it also plays a different song to give kind of extra atmosphere and kind of hype up to the combat. Yeah, I think the combat's okay. It's just... sometimes it just feels like there's too much. Sometimes I'm like, after the third or fourth quote-unquote arena of monsters, I'm kind of like, can we just go back to the fun stuff, like the puzzling or the character conversations or just the general exploration or, just those kind of things where it's just the story is progressing and there's interesting stuff happening. Because I think everything else is really fun. You're generally exploring while the rest of the Guardians are talking back and forth and you're answering your own questions and putting in, or like Rocket in the first level challenges you to a game of who can one up the other person with killing things. Like it's those kinds of things I really love. It's just the combat seems to slow that down. I think the story's nothing for Guardians. It's nothing new, but at the same time, because it's Guardians,
it's a nice amalgamation of Guardians stories. I'm sure if you're a fan, it's like, oh, that's pulled. Like obviously, the Universal Church of Faith, I think, is like a thing from the comics. Lady Hellbender's a thing from the comics. Obviously, you got Kor-El and like the Nova Corps, who are very much more like the Nova Corps in the comics than they are in the MCU version and that kind of stuff. Got the World Mind and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot more deeper lore. You go to the expected places of Guardians of the Galaxy that if you've seen any of the movies or like even the Telltale game or read like even a couple comics, there's the places you expect to go. I get mad Mass Effect vibes from walking around the Milano and talking to everybody.
It's a cool ship.
Yeah, it's a cool ship. It has a cool design. There's a space llama.
Shout out to Cammy. Cutie. Hashtag cutie.
And also, I think it does the thing where, this game would also work really well as it is just like a Telltale game. They've just added extra elements to it and made it more of an action adventure game rather than just a straight up adventure game. I think I've been really missing, other than playing Life is Strange this year, I've been really missing a story of this mindset where it is all about making choices. I'll be interested once I finish the game to find out how much the choices matter, what actually is happening and what's changing in the game, those kinds of things from it. If there is, because at the moment, I don't feel like any of the changes have mattered that much. Like I'd still be curious to see.
I think maybe one change, the one decision could be pretty pivotal.
Okay.
Like,
all right.
Around the character of Nikki, I would suspect. Possibly.
All right. Yeah. No. I can see that. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
That's right. There's those. It's just, it's a case of I'm interested so far of what actually happens with those choices and how they develop that. But I think, it looks pretty good considering it's not really a next generation game. It's kind of still kind of a holdover for the last generation in many ways.
Yeah. Still looks good. Been going to the photo mode, taking pictures.
Actually, that just reminds me of the one bug I'm getting all the time that's really over it, is that for some reason, especially Drax and Gamora get their weapons stuck in their hands all the time. And so, like, Drax will be, like, folding his arms and his swords will be sticking out of his back in the cutscene.
Okay.
Or, like, I've seen him, like, stab himself through the head by accident. Like, it is, for me on the PS5 version, slightly annoying so far.
Yeah, I've had a couple of bugs as well. One was Rocket got stuck somehow on, like, the top of a pillar somewhere, and I needed him to go in a hole somewhere to get something, and he couldn't reach it because it was stuck up there.
Yes, because he couldn't get there. Yep.
But the more frustrating one was I would just... there's obviously some sort of collectible thing I could see across the way. I need to cross this ledge. So I walk across the ledge get to the other side, and for some reason, Star-Lord just walks straight back across the ledge.
Oh, really? What the fuck?
Yeah. There's no, like, the animation just switches directly into walk back. So I can't get those suits. I know. It's very sad. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. The story goes in interesting directions, I think. Or, like, really, like, places for, like, deep fans and, like, obviously, yeah. Some certain characters show up and that kind of stuff, and yeah. I'm really digging it, so I'm keen to finish it off, hopefully, before next week. Fingers crossed.
I don't think it's going to be long. Like, it doesn't feel like it's going to be
I think from what I've read, it's like
experience.
12, 14 hours.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm glad it's not poo because, I mean, in my opinion, it was looking kind of poo.
It is. It is much better than the trailers.
Oh, it's far better than it deserves to be. Like, it's actually, like, for a story, like, it's actually really fun.
I think from the general consensus I've seen is the combat's crap and the story's good, so that's what I've taken away. But
the combat is serviceable.
Yeah. But I'll also say
there to
without having played it, so this is what I'm about to say probably means nothing because I'm literally doing what I hate people doing, which is saying something about something I haven't played. But I also feel like a lot of the really high scores, seeing people being like giving it extra praise for being a single player Marvel game. I'm like, we literally had Spider-Man soon. Like I know we had Avengers and like whatever, but like there's no need to like act like
there's one.
It's like this game's like a solid 8. Like I don't think it reaches like 9s or 10. Like for me, it's a solid 8 where it's like a good game. It's just, you know. I
scale it depending on how much you love the property and that kind of stuff. Like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I just think it is hard to look past the combat and there should be no part of a game that you just sit there being like, man, I can't wait till this part's over so I can get to the next part. That happening consistently.
I will say, the only thing I'll say is if you're a Marvel fan, make sure you go to the Collector's Museum. Oh, Nova. Don't miss that. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, and on that little happy tip bit for everyone, I'll do it for this week's episode of Arcade Couch. Let us know any comments, questions, or concerns you've had about the episode by tweeting at us or joining our Discord. ExplosionNetwork.com/Twitter will take you to all our Twitters. ExplosionNetwork.com/Discord will let you join our Discord. If you like this episode and thought Ash should be experienced in Guardians of the Galaxy in 4K, you can head on over to ExplosionNetwork.com/support, or you can donate.
I had nothing to do with this.
Donate to his TV fund.
This comes out in November. This is already over.
I believe I'm giving it one more week. I think is my thing. At the end of the first week. So,
see, you're giving it one more week, so that kind of implies that you came up with this entire plot.
No, I'm just allowing you to push this agenda.
No, I had nothing to do with this.
For another week is what I think I'll allow around these parts.
Completely innocent.
And until next week, where I'll probably make this bit for the last time, same couch. No, actually, we'll be back on Monday. I think, right? Bye! Hey, don't forget you can subscribe to the show wherever you're currently listening, and you can drop a review if you can. Find more great shows like this and more content over at ExplosionNetwork.com, and please consider supporting us for as little as $1 over on our Ko-fi page by heading to ExplosionNetwork.com/support. Thanks for listening.